Short film roundup. 1, 2, 3.
What?
Whoa!
You can't do that.
Broken scissors?
I didn't mean to do that.
All right, let's try again.
We all did say.
I like how you were confused.
Try again. 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha. Done. Oh wait. I win.
No,
No,
rock
you
beats
don't.
everything.
Rock?
Because wait, who goes?
No, it doesn't. Rock beats scissors.
Rock beats everything.
Paper beats rock.
Rock crushes
Rock
scissors.
beats scissors.
Yes, scissors beats paper.
But scissors.
We
beats
are at
paper.
an impasse.
No. Rock beats everything.
How does this work? Wait.
Let's start the show
I don't
some
get it.
other way. I got it.
Start the show.
Wait for the water. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome back to Short Film Roundup.
All right.
How's that?
That was
Yeah,
great.
that was
All right.
That was good.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Short Film Roundup.
D. Short film roundup.
Short Film Roundup, D.
Come on, D.
Short Film Roundup. Short
It's
Film
time.
Roundup.
Short.
Yes.
He did it.
Yes.
It's time for Short Film Roundup.
Oh, this is the weirdest episode.
Can
already.
you disclaim or something?
Disclaim.
Tell us about it.
Prepare to have your mind blown.
My hair is like super out of whack.
We have 18 pages of disclaimer for you to
Written
sign
documents.
before we can review your short film. Our disclaimer is thus: here on Short Film Roundup, we review short films submitted by you guys, the filmmaking public. We're part of that too, just so you know.
Yeah.
You guys and girls.
You are our peers.
You people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You people.
You people.
What do you mean, you people?
You people.
So anyway, I digress. Where was I? Disclaimer.
Films.
We review films occasionally with the most brutal forms of honesty.
Or always honest.
Yes, but sometimes it's brutal honesty.
brutal.
Yes.
Yeah, honest can cut both ways, man. Honest can be like, that feels good, and honest can be like, hurts. Ooh, don't
Yeah.
be so honest. But we are honest.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
Because we believe it's good for you, and that it's good for us. We have learned a ton from reviewing these films, and we know that you guys have too, because you've told us so. And just know that we, on our filmmaking journeys, have made every mistake that that we're pointing at and pointing out and maybe laughing at. We've been there. We're laughing at ourselves too. And this is all for the good of the filmmaking world.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
With that said, our first film today is by Marcos Hilbert.
Cool,
Silver?
Marcos. Do you have a confession to make before we watch this?
I do, yeah. So his film 777, I've never seen before. Sorry.
Wait, you still haven't watched it?
I still haven't watched it.
Where about?
No, okay. My confession is that I know Marcos.
Right.
In person.
So
he,
it'll
he
be
and I went to the same
impossible-
film school.
It'll be impossible for D to be impartial.
Yeah, because we're like super best buds.
So
He's going to be insanely biased.
whatever you
Yeah.
hear D say, take it with many grains of salt.
This was a great movie.
We haven't even watched it yet.
I'm making jokes.
Because of your relationship to D, you're disqualified for awards.
Marcos and I think,
and
have...
and our coveted cash prizes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I believe Marcos and I had worked together a couple times. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, Marcos, you're in.
Go watch the link in the description and come right back.
Is it me or the night's getting colder?
Nights are getting colder. Days are getting hotter.
Cold, hot, doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't rain.
And we're back.
Welcome back. How was the popcorn?
crunch.
Do you have popcorn?
Well, it's a nice theater. I'd assume they have popcorn.
That is a nice theater.
Yeah.
It's really quite a nice theater. They have like waiters. They come bring you food.
It's a studio movie grill.
Yeah.
I find that obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they-
what'd you guys think of 777?
777. Who goes first? D, you're supposed to designate
Yeah.
someone to talk.
7. Guinea.
Okay. All right. So, I liked this film once I let go and said, this is a surreal, expressionist piece that isn't necessarily trying to tell me a story. But of course, then I got to the end and went, nope, they were trying to tell me a story. Which means there really wasn't enough on the table here to put the story together.
Yeah.
All that I could get was that this guy had something happening to him that might have led to a real or imagined death that then is now happening to someone else, and that it's sequential.
Right.
Because the woman here's 8. But because this is an old homeless man, it just looks like a man with dementia. And I did have an emotional pull throughout the whole movie, but it was tapping into my own fear of what it would be like to lose control of my own mind.
Me too.
It never once felt like, oh, he's being haunted by a supernatural force. I didn't get that he really died, or if he did, I don't know. Again, none of this is necessarily bad or good, especially if you were going for more of like an expressionistic tone feel.
Yeah.
It's beautifully shot, and much of the shooting was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But so much missing in this story that I couldn't put the whole thing together.
Yeah. I would say that it definitely wasn't a story in the narrative sense that we think of all the time. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was an expressionist piece, but I know because what you said at the end there was a definite ending, therefore it's supposed to tie everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what the point of it was, other than to follow this guy around and see that this crazy guy isn't really crazy, he's actually haunted, and then he gets killed.
Yeah, I can't shot nicely. This night scene here around the little campfire was really well put together, I thought.
Yeah, I really like that.
There's a shot coming up here that bugged me, and it's a mistake I see really often. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. A cinematographer might tell me if this is really a mistake, but just slightly ahead after Mr. Old Man goes lays down. So like he pees, and then he goes here, and he looks up at them, and we see this reverse of them standing around. He hears see that one. Okay, so here's the problem. This is supposed to be from his perspective, which is why we have this very low angle looking up, and that part's right. But he's laying on the side of his head like this.
Yeah.
And when I see someone's head is like this on the ground, and then we're supposed to be seeing from his perspective, but the camera's laying flat on the ground this way, it always disorients me.
That's funny. So it's actually different from me. I feel like it's better this way.
I feel like it should be either it should be on its side or it should move like that. Because it's clearly meant to match his eyes, and his eyes weren't that way, and so it feels like a disjointed edit.
Before we get to your opinion, Taylor, because we can completely skip that, I do just want to say, I just want to talk about this real quick, this shot. Cinematography, a lot of the shots can represent feelings, you know? There was a thing that we shot where we did Dutch angle almost everything to make look off kilter and stuff like that. I think shots like that can influence the audience's view of what's happening. So even if it is just someone like hanging upside down off the couch or something like that, watching TV, and then the shot itself is upside down, like that kind of disorientation, you know, motivates some sort of reading from the audience. For me, this is the most perfect kind of reveal of what he's seeing, because we're seeing what he's supposed to be noticing as opposed to perfectly encapsulating
100% point of view.
Right.
No, see, I get that,
Yeah.
and I think that in theory you're right, The problem is much more basic than that to me. It's
I see.
it's that it literally my brain does a double take because it expects to see the angle being off.
Right.
Because
right.
I just saw his eyes like this.
That's interesting.
And so I feel like the camera should be like that too.
Right. I get you.
Yeah.
Taylor, what did you think of this movie?
There's definitely like surrealism going on at the end. Yeah, I don't know if I would totally say expressionist, but definitely strange and surrealist at the end. I definitely didn't get the impression that they had a story beyond the concept that they demonstrated. Like, I think the whole idea behind it is he's being haunted, and it's by something. I don't know if haunted is the right word. It's like he's being tormented by something. It kills him, and then it keeps going on to someone else sequentially. And I don't think it was trying to say anything deeper than
Just
that.
a concept.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact. So I wonder if number 8 there at the end, if that is supposed to be more of like a twist.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And that up to that point, we're just supposed to assume that he was crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Because to me, it was a hard leap to make to think something was actually happening to him, because the only real character development we have for this guy are the guy at the bonfire who says, hey, be nice to him, he's not all there.
Right.
Right? So the only thing we know about him is that he's a guy who people say he's not all there.
Yeah.
And then he starts having what looks like delusions.
Yeah.
Yeah. This reminded me a lot, actually, of a few films that we shot over in that school. A few of my friends made films that were exploring a concept, and even me, like I did the same thing, where my film Genesis went through a guy just discovering why he was trapped, and that was it. There was no narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of the films over there were like that, and I think it's because we're encouraged to kind of learn techniques and then kind of just express ourselves that way. I wouldn't say it's not exactly expressionist, but there wasn't a huge kind of focus on narrative,
Like structure.
Yeah.
There's more on, like you said, technique.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of interesting.
And there's a lot
actually.
of good technique here.
yeah.
I
there's a ton.
like his performance too. I
Yeah.
like him. And all the stuff in the desert was just dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Looks-
like the black and white looks awesome.
Yeah,
I actually,
wonderful contrast.
I thought he was dead here. Like when it turned to black and white, I thought like, okay, he's
Afterlife?
dead. Yeah, this is the afterlife.
Right.
Davy Jones' locker.
Yeah, it's funny.
Davy
Like,
Jones' Locker. Yeah.
like the desert. This has to be the Mojave Desert, right? Like in Nevada.
I don't know. It could be.
it
I mean, that
looks-
looks like dry lake bed.
Yeah.
I mean, that was water where he's walking around because of the pattern and the cracks there.
The desert is such
Oh
a.
no, yeah, that does look like Mojave.
The desert is such a surrealist icon.
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
All the
yeah,
time.
yep.
Yeah, no, this was, I was thoroughly impressed with a lot of the stuff in here. I do want to point out something that I did not like in the beginning here, and that was,
I love that shot, by the way.
So I don't like this shot. Yeah,
Because it's so centered, to me it felt very stage play.
Yeah,
It gave me the feeling of like little theater stage play.
So I think what it was a location that was too small.
I think they built this.
I think it looks
kinda
very artificial.
It looked like a built set to me. too.
There's a moment where he goes to lay down and he puts his hand on the wall and the brick wall
And it
shakes.
moves.
That makes sense. Okay.
Interesting. I felt like this needs to be a longer lens. I'm not sure why I feel that way. Maybe this just makes me feel
Is it
uncomfortable.
because of their
Maybe the background? It'll
their
make the background look
separation off
better.
the background is not.
Maybe, I don't know.
So
I don't know. There's not a whole bunch of head. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be longer. I have no idea why.
I like it.
Another thing that threw me off in this sequence was the first time we cut to who is our main character, in the back there. So he gets up and goes pee, and then the guy goes up, is like, I'm going to kill him, and
Yeah, the editing.
and then they
there
do
was
a very
weird.
quick cut to him, but before ever giving us like a real like establishing look at him.
Yeah,
And I think if we had just seen him once before that, then that quick cut wouldn't have been so disorienting or jarring.
Yeah. Is that right here? That
Yeah.
yeah,
That-
that
yeah.
that was really.
That's
I
an
don't know
odd
what's going on
thing
there.
there.
Well, when I see editing like that, I feel like a camera missed a shot or something.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
Or there
too.
was a blocking problem that they had to edit around.
So
it looks
this-
like an edit around.
Do they hop the line there?
I was just wondering if
That's what it
that's a line
feels
hop.
like. I don't know if they do or not.
So
Hey, D,
yeah,
for anyone who might have the question, how could you quickly describe what hop the line means?
sure. So if I'm talking to Taylor, we see this shot of me right here, and this shot of Taylor, and so right here, this little line right here is what we call the 180, and it's because the camera, as long as it stays on that side of the line, everything spatially makes sense. However, if we took the camera and put it over here,
Whoa.
now when we look at Taylor, it's sideways. Anyway, when we hop the line, then it suddenly looks like we're looking at a different thing. So if you look at me right now, and then look at Taylor, and now Taylor looks like he's looking somewhere else. So yeah, so there we go. So that's the basic 180.
Thank
So
you.
I think from right here on this shot, we have this guy on the left who's going towards. It's still on the same side.
It is.
He's not breaking anything.
Right there. Wait,
See,
go
but
back.
there we go.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what was
one
weird.
quick shot where it does.
Right there. Yeah. So it
He does.
Yep.
yeah.
It felt very strange.
Yeah. So,
Especially because that's such a quick shot. too.
and it's super quick, right? So you're trying to get oriented, and then also it's super quick, and it's not working. Yeah. So that we did hop there, and then cut
And
back
then
to a
it's like-
master really quick.
The master is straight on the line.
This is an artificial set.
Yeah. And he's going to do it here in a second, I believe. He's going to touch the wall. You can see it.
You can see the light on the top there, and the texture of the brick wall looks a little off. That's interesting. It's a really good looking set, dude.
Yeah. Props for building your own set.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
really like
nice.
the light here, too.
Yeah.
That light looks really nice.
Marcos, I don't know where you got the old dude. 'Cause
I was gonna
awesome.
say
He's great.
I was gonna ask
There's-
what
oh,
was your
there it was. Yeah.
what was your casting experience like, and what was it like working with and directing him? He seems to have either a very natural grasp for the character, or was very good at taking direction,
Or he was just a homeless guy.
or he just found a guy.
I honestly think that might be the thing here.
That's funny.
Method.
Method acting. If not, I mean, but he's really good. I absolutely love this shot, and
The shoes are so good.
That
like,
shot.
I mean, it's all.
Yeah.
I love
great.
that.
I actually love the whole pacing of this film.
Yeah,
Like, I love
the
how
pacing
this
is
movie
really
plays
good.
out
That shot's really good too.
with such minimal. It's like minimalist.
Um,
I really like that about it.
is this the Roseville Civic Center?
It looks like Roseville.
Anyway, yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to point out or ask?
I would like Marcos. I would love if you would help us fill in some of the gaps that we have with the story
I
here.
like that. View.
So, but yeah, the VFX of him getting stabbed through the head was pretty fun.
It was pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was good. But I still don't really understand what this was all about, what happened. And so whether it's a story that you wanted to come across or not, I just would love to hear in your own words what this is all about and why you made it.
Yeah. I would like that too, because it is. I can feel what you're going for here, but yeah, I definitely don't see narrative happening.
Also, how would you define I hate this question, but if you had to put this film into a genre, what would you put it in?
This is a really good shot right here, by the way.
It is and it was so strikingly different from the rest of the film. It felt like we had jumped into a different movie.
Yeah, for a
It
second.
really was.
See, now this is what I mean. Now, audience, this is a bit weird, but Taylor and I were talking about shots for our upcoming film, and this is the kind of one of the shots that I think you had in mind, right?
Yeah.
To reveal our character.
Yeah, from behind.
Right, from behind. And right here, you can see that it makes a really mysterious thing happen. You know, we don't know who this character is. There's a very, very slow move in.
Um,
And it's
You never see her face. I don't
I
think.
no, you do,
Well, you
and
do,
I
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
think it was a mistake.
because it reveals something different.
Yeah, because when she turns and shows her face, it feels like her face is the reveal,
Right.
Not the fact that she's number 8.
That she's 8.
Because the turn is so dramatic that it's like, it was like I felt like I was supposed to know who she was and be
Right.
surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
They do that a lot in TV shows also.
And where I think it actually would have been better to have a reverse on her face when she was taking that call, and we
Yeah.
could see her reaction
Yeah,
in real time.
I think that would have been better too.
So yes, Marcos, please tell us more about your film, why you made it, what it's all about. I'd love to hear also the motivation for the set you built of the alleyway.
Yeah.
And did you build
Why
it
you did it,
yourself?
yeah.
Why? What made you choose to do that as opposed to going and finding an alley?
Right. Yeah, that and plus the story thing that you were talking about. What exactly is it that we're looking at here?
Yeah, I want to know if that was the Mojave Desert or not, and if you just like
because
drove
you
there.
like that
and-
location. And
yeah,
wanna use it,
yeah,
don't you?
I want to go there.
Yeah.
You know, like
That
did
pattern
you
in
just drive there?
in the ground was so great. That cracked, all those little cracked patches that were almost like little octagons.
Yeah.
Looked awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks, man.
Thank you for submitting your film. Hope we get to see a lot more from you.
Our next one is Franz,
Franz.
written and directed by Kenny Williams.
What's up, Kenny?
Kenny is also another person that I have. I'm not sure if we worked together. Actually, I'm not sure. But he did go
First
to the
question, Kenny. Do you know D?
Same, do you know who I am? But we did go to the same school.
Kenny, you have a really beautiful name. Did you know
Williams or
Williams, yes.
So,
Kenneth actually means handsome.
oh, is that what it means?
Just gonna say.
So handsome.
Handsome Williams.
Interesting.
And I'm handsome Valentine.
Go click link in description.
Click
Come
the
right back.
link.
check it out.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your little stay at the cinema.
It's now a hotel.
That theater is going to get better and better.
Yeah. It's
We
more
should improve
elaborate.
the theater
Yeah.
over time.
Add little
Yeah.
things. in.
Put people in the audience. All right. So we start in Everton, Indiana, 1984.
Taylor, tell me about this.
This movie is awesome. You know, it's pretty large in scale and scope. I feel like, I mean, not in like budgetary wise or anything, but I just think the story it tells is very. It feels like a very classic kind of movie, like a movie about movies. Like
does.
That's the thing
I
you
love
do.
movies about movies.
Yeah, yeah.
I do.
And so it was kind of awesome seeing this character. I don't know. I just like the story a lot.
I liked it a lot too, man.
I think that's the biggest standout for me was the story itself was really quite interesting.
And why is it asking too much for that to be the case?
Yeah.
Right?
For what?
Shouldn't that be the bar for a good movie? Is that first and foremost you like the story?
well, yeah, but yeah.
We've
we
talked
can
so
talk
much
about
on
that.
on story versus other intents.
Right.
Yeah.
But how many movies have we said, well, we like this, we like that, but the story,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So
it's like, it's so refreshing when someone gets the story right.
Yeah. I think it's definitely script first, visuals later. It definitely does need to be that way.
I had a WTF moment watching this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
massive. Yeah.
When we
Oh.
first see the
Right.
interior of Franz's apartment. Let's see if you can find it. Here,
Right.
you
Yeah,
can back
there
up
it is.
just a
There we
little. So this is Franz.
This shot.
This shot was the one that did it. as soon as they showed this hallway, I went, "What the?" And the D looks at me. He's like, "What's wrong, Kenny?" And I'm like, "Taylor, we shot in that location. That's that apartment, an Airbnb apartment in Sacramento."
Yeah.
That we shot a bunch of commercials in.
Yeah.
In fact, here's some behind-the-scene photographs of our shoot in this exact location.
That's
here,
so funny.
And here.
Yeah.
And here. See? Do you like those?
The lamp, the antlers.
Yeah, that lamp is in our... So is this bed.
Yeah.
So is the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really trippy.
It's really trippy because, like, we shot in this exact spot.
Yeah.
You know? It was wild. And I didn't even know if it was a Sacramento film when it started playing.
Yeah, we didn't even know. Yeah.
But, yeah, we know this location intimately.
That's so funny.
So that was
crazy.
hilarious. And well, once I got that out of my head, I was able to focus on the story again. But I really enjoyed this film. It's definitely, I'd say it's easily in the top 3 to 5 films we have seen thus far on Short Film Roundup.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Also, it was it has this thing you were talking about, how it makes it seem like a bigger film. Just because it's a story about a story.
Yeah.
And that is really, really cool how big this film feels. It really does feel like it should be a movie on itself, you know, like a feature film or something.
Yes, and while they didn't necessarily... these aren't necessarily great acting performances.
Right.
They are great characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they're
the
written very
characters are
well.
awesome.
That's what they're written well, and they chose actors who are characters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All 3 of the main speaking parts are extremely visually interesting.
Right.
Right? Even though occasionally they're not as strong as you might want, like their face alone tells a story. This guy, this
murder guy?
Yeah, Murder Man. Adam X.
Adam X.
Yeah. I'd love to see you in another role, by the way, but in this, at least, you got the perfect vibe to be a psycho. Like, I would cast this dude as a psycho in my movie anytime. And Franz, too. Franz just has the look of this wizened, old, from the glory days of Hollywood. Yeah. Actually, he's channeling, what's his name? The horror icon. Note to editor, please remove how long I'm Googling this.
Was it the other thing that the murderer said, the other guy? First him?
Romero.
Oh, Romero.
Oh, Romero?
Yeah. Here, pull up a picture.
George A. Romero.
Look, this is George A. Romero.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that just feels like they're definitely going for he's like the German George Romero.
I had absolutely no problem believing that this guy was who they said he was.
And that he had won an Oscar.
Yeah. The thing, sorry, you were going to continue your thought.
I was?
Yeah. Did we cut you off?
I don't remember what I was saying.
Okay. The one thing that I didn't like so much was that, like you said, the characters fit super well, but they weren't super good at acting. So it came off like they were characters that were trying to be the character that was on the page.
Yes. And sometimes that worked.
Yeah,
and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah. I really like the whole... I'm pretty sure there was a twist at the end where Adam X isn't a real person.
Mm.
Did you guys get that?
Adam X is not a real person?
So I saw that he was writing a screenplay.
Yeah.
But I thought he was writing
based
upon the guy he just saw.
Awesome. I love that we have this now.
You think that...
So I feel like Adam X was not a real person because this guy in this scene never acknowledged...
That's a good point.
Never acknowledged Adam's presence.
Snap. I think D's onto something.
You remember he bumped into him and he just kind of looked back and then didn't say anything?
I don't remember that.
No?
Can you pull it up?
Look at that. It's right.
Yeah, and earlier he talks about the psychological place he had to go to when he made these movies, and this is it like resurfacing.
Yeah, so here's him backing up.
Yeah, watch. There's another person behind him and he barely cares.
Yeah, like like I was waiting for him to freak out right there and he didn't do anything. and the guy's just smiling at him the whole time.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That changes like everything.
Yeah.
About this movie.
It's like
Kenny,
this whole thing kind of, you know.
are we
was
on to something? Did D crack this movie? I think he's cooking bacon with
fire.
heat
cooking bacon
right
with fire.
there. Very good.
See, well, that brings up an interesting idea.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Whether or not, that's one shot that changes everything.
Well,
but it could also be a misdirection.
When he also appears here behind Franz in a moment, but he comes up and this guy also doesn't acknowledge his presence again. Come on, movie.
I like that this guy is like apparently a super fan too.
Yeah.
He wants to die like the character in the movie. He's like about to die and he's like, well, then kill me like in your movie.
Right, so right here he's looking over him again and he's still talking to Franz.
All right, so this movie did such a good job at implying violence without showing violence until this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not
That's
totally
what was sad
agree.
because I'm like, what that old man just did with that bat tickled.
Yeah.
That did not look.
It didn't look painful
brutal.
at all.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't go down with force.
But right,
It's like
but
he just-
No, it looks like he just placed it on
well,
his
yeah,
head.
and you know how hard it would be to bludgeon someone to death by just driving a bat down into their
Right.
Like
You'd have to like jump up in
it
the
would
air.
be really hard, or have a spear point on the end of that bat.
Yeah.
But up to this point, this movie felt like a very violent movie, even though it didn't have violence in it.
That's
it
true.
like a sense of violence
Yeah.
permeated the film, and that part almost detracted, I thought.
I think it's because the character that we're following most is this Adam guy, and he's from what we can tell is a known murderer.
Yeah.
And he's treating him like a friend.
See, I think you have to be right, your theory here,
Yeah.
because when I was watching this, it didn't make sense to me that he's like, let's kill him. Call me if you want to do it, but
Yeah.
he doesn't do it. He's like, you're going to go in there and kill him.
Yeah, that's
right?
a good
and I
point.
was like, well, why did he call?
Right.
You know, why does
That
he
is
need
a
him
great
anyway?
point.
I love his card
That's very
too.
interesting.
I like how he says that he's a photographer
And it says, let me shoot
and
you.
let me shoot you.
Yeah.
It's so
Clever.
great.
Clever.
Well, it's like it's not too clever. It's not like wink, wink, wink. It's just it's there.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
it. You know.
So he's like a subconscious part of this guy.
Yeah. So this guy just flipped.
The part of him who loves horror and violence
Yeah.
and all that he has kept suppressed since leaving the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, oh, dude, my card just filled.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Who was responsible for this? Who?
Whoever it is.
Name names now.
Oh shoot.
I thought I
Did that-
formatted.
Oh shoot.
Let me go back.
Oh shoot. Oh my gosh. Someone made a noob mistake. Right?
Wait, did you see it, Philip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just happened. I can't believe D caught that and we didn't.
I'm a little bit on the fence still.
Kenny?
Just a little bit.
I'm just
Kenny, you have to tell us.
disappointed. Yeah, Kenny, first of all. Great name. And we already did that.
Great name.
All right, already said.
Second of all, great taste in shooting locations. Leverage that Airbnb for a good location. It's wise. And third of all, did D nail it or what? I think he did.
Yo. First assistant camera here. I've worked with him. He's awesome.
Oh yeah?
I've worked with most of
Go
these people.
First AC, so cool. CJ Dennis,
Justin J. Clare was
Ryan
additional.
Galley,
Who's
David
was
Doria,
who was DP?
and Austin Page.
No DP.
They didn't do DP.
There's no DP here.
Drone operator, Danny Rodriguez,
They didn't do DP.
There's additional cinematography, but there's no
Tyler Shaffo.
cinematographer unless that was
boom operator is really essential. You gotta have strong arms.
casting
Yeah,
by Jasmine.
That's a funny font.
There it is.
It looks like the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, it's Hollywood sign font.
Josiah
How clever.
Yoshi.
Yoshi Rodriguez.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yoshi.
Yoshi. Hell yeah. Okay.
It's good.
Back to the point.
What is the point? It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. You done good, Kenny. You done good,
You say that all the time, don't
Kenny.
you? You done good, Kenny.
That's that happens to be my morning mantra. Every morning I get up and I say, "You done good, Kenny."
In the beginning with the horror stuff, and it was like 1980s.
That was
whatever.
well done
I
too.
loved that.
When the dude came in, I was like, well, one, I thought we were watching the movie. I was
Right.
like, okay, well, this is an 80s horror movie.
Gotcha.
And then I was glad that he got me, because I was like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah,
when
because
he
the way
came
she
in,
fell down
and it's so
when she
campy.
opened the door.
Yeah.
I went, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not
I know. I was
good.
worried too. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and then you cut to the
Then it cut
room.
to this, and I'm like, ooh.
I was like,
You're
all
like,
right,
ooh.
this just got a lot more interesting.
I loved
Yeah.
that transition, by the way.
I did too.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. And this guy, dude, I loved him too.
I
loved him
didn't
too.
like his acting performance, but I mean, he definitely.
He got
did
it
it, though.
right, though.
He got it right.
I've met this person. Like, seriously.
I feel like he needs to be. Oh, what's his name? Shoot, Whiplash.
Oh, yeah, J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
there are so many sleazeballs walking around Park City on Sundance Film Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Who are just like
That guy.
this guy.
Yeah, he fits the part.
Yeah,
super.
and half of them like are don't actually have these statues on their,
Yeah.
they're just talk the talk.
I want to point something out that
Do it.
I think a lot of previous films hadn't gotten right, and that was getting characters to match, or getting casting to match what you've written.
Tons of films haven't got that right.
Yeah.
that we've covered here.
Even in the big budget ones, though,
Sure.
like what was that one? Spotify.
JA9.
JA9.
That's what I was thinking,
We
too.
keep talking about that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had a deep impact on us.
Maybe it wasn't even big budget, or just.
It had big budget feel.
It did.
They did, but yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a handful of foundational pieces of a movie, right?
Yeah.
The foundational pieces are not icing on a cake. They're the cake, right?
Yeah.
And your casting is one of those. Your locations is another.
Yes.
So so many shorts we've seen now have shot in just some spot they could have access to, but they didn't do anything to it.
Right.
Right? You can
So it
tell
just
that
looked like
this guy
someone's
who's
house.
supposed to be a single bachelor shouldn't be living in a place with crayon drawings on the fridge.
Exactly.
Right?
And this even looks like just a regular meeting room, but you have this stuff in the background.
Yeah. No, yeah. This could have been they could have rented like a Regis
Right.
conference room and done this.
I mean, these blinds don't look like.
By the way, those Oscar trophies cost like $9.99 on Amazon.
And
I
even
thought
like
the trophies were a little on the nose.
the dude's house was great with the posters. Also,
Yeah, that location again. Jeez.
Great location. Great location.
Actually, it was funny
Kenny.
because I didn't recognize it at first, and the first shot where it's by the wall and the camera's pulling back, my first thought was, this is a cool location.
Because it is.
Yeah, it is
that
a cool
apartment,
location. And,
It used
such
to
an
be
industrial
silos.
look. Yeah.
Industrial silos.
That's cool.
And they converted the whole they gutted it out, so the outside still looks like concrete silos.
Yeah.
But the inside is filled with these sort of like quasi luxury loft apartments.
Yeah.
They still have one of the silos. You can go look inside.
Yeah, it was rad.
in the
Yeah.
lobby. You can go in and look
Yeah.
straight up. It's really cool.
We should shoot there again.
Yeah.
Should. That's a great shot too.
And that's what's interesting is that's actually a reverse of the same window.
That is.
Yeah. That is from the outside. And he's up on like the third, fourth floor or something
Yeah, it's
like
pretty
that.
high up.
This was great, like cinematography throughout this whole thing.
Yes, it was. Yes, that must be noted. It looks wonderful. In fact, you've made a really good movie if we've gotten this far without pointing out good photography.
I have one question
Yes.
for Kenny,
Go
Which
ahead.
one?
He's right here.
the other Kenny.
Got it.
Let
Kenny
me-
W.
Let me just.
Oh, it's a Dodge Challenger,
I don't know who that is.
but not Dark Daddy.
Not Dark Daddy today. No. Sorry, I'm just look. I gotta find the scene. All right, this shot right here.
drone.
It's the drone operator.
Where is this?
Ooh.
Where is this?
Okay, so that, yeah, because
Because that looks like a studio.
that does look like a big soundstage.
So they just literally went to Hollywood.
Yeah, they like just went to some soundstage.
There are a couple stages
That
in
actually,
Sacramento. That looks like a Tower Theater.
That's what I was gonna say. That looks
That's the
exactly
parking
like
lot
the
of the
Tower,
Tower
Theater.
Theater.
Yeah,
That is.
That is the
that is the Tower Theater.
Yep, that absolutely is the Tower Theater.
That's genius,
Oh, it is.
dude.
Yeah.
That's genius. That is
But if his
ingenious.
frame was pulled back any farther, you'd see it.
Yeah.
But because of where the crop line is right on the top there, it looks like a soundstage. But that
That is quite genius.
the Tower Theater.
You're very impressed.
That's incredible.
Well done. Yeah, no, I felt like we were in Hollywood. And
That's
the music that he played during this moment was spot on. You know, the only reason why I recognized it was because after that last screening, we went to Tower for Matthias's documentary.
Yeah.
And we saw them helping the handicapped and elderly out of the side door.
Yeah.
And it was right through that wall, right through the door we just saw. So,
Yeah,
kind of
that's amazing.
The only thing that I didn't like about the movie was the sound mixing. It wasn't amazing, but that's so small. I'm nitpicking pretty small there.
This scene I didn't like.
Oh, the car?
I didn't like him
I
talking
didn't
to
like it
himself
very
in the
much
car.
either.
I felt like that we would have been better off just skipping
Yeah,
entirely because
it felt like it was supposed to be comedic, but it wasn't very funny.
it wasn't funny.
He
and
can't do funny.
The performance wasn't. It didn't. It just didn't seem true to the character. It didn't make sense.
Right. Where he's yelling.
Like
Yeah,
to
like-
himself.
Like he has all these feelings he needs to get out.
Yeah, and talking to yourself scenes are really, really hard to make them feel like it's actually happening. People talk to themselves far less than you see in movies.
Yeah, right.
Also, because we need to be critical.
That
right?
looks like Matthias.
Maybe it is. I love this location, Kenny. After he sees the shooting in the street, but see, D, you ruined it. You ruined my argument because you're totally right. Here's the other proof. I during the movie I thought, dude, did he teleport to the guy's front door?
Yeah, he did.
Because he's there in seconds. And he walks right in.
Yeah.
Like it's not locked. So first it's like, how does he know where the guy lives? How does he get there that fast? It's an apartment building, and you're like,
Why does he go there?
I know. Did he murder 6 other people to find the right one? And he just gets there like instantly and just walks in. So yeah, he's not real. Are we just dumb? Good job, Kenny.
Yeah, that was a good movie, man.
Yeah,
That was a really
I'd
good
love
one.
to hear, what sort of like motivated this idea. Are any of these characters real to you? Especially that Hollywood executive. If you ever work with that guy.
Yeah.
I loved a dude pitching Jaws.
That was
great.
funny.
That was pretty
That
cool.
was
What,
really
what did he say? He said this really funny thing. He
Dropout
said,
film student.
no,
film student
it
dropout.
was, he references Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh, it happened to Gaston.
Yeah.
Now it's happening to you. Something like that.
I thought that was hilarious. Oh, yeah, the X says that.
Yeah.
It's like, they got Kasdan, now they got you.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I really like this a lot, man. I don't have much else to say.
Me neither.
I don't either.
I don't have anything to ask.
How'd you make this movie?
How'd you make it?
Yeah, I just want to hear more about your story, your process, and what made you want to tell this particular story. Good,
Yeah.
But great job.
Yeah, what was your inspiration? Thanks, Kenny. And Kenny.
You're welcome. On to our third and final film of the evening.
Of the name?
Evening.
Oh, evening.
Nighttime.
Our third film is
getting late.
Our third film is The Hermit, directed by Brad Roller. So go ahead and click that link in the description and come right back.
Wish me luck.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. Here we are, the Hermit. So to
This
start
shot's so dope.
off,
Yeah, that's
you
such a
just
cool
before we say anything else, because I have a buttload of problems with this movie, but gosh, it is gorgeous.
So yeah,
It
let's
is
get that out of the way real quick.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love the cinematography.
Yeah,
Every shot in here, I love absolutely.
yeah, it's a
Just all of
beautiful
it.
movie.
All of it is amazing.
I like this actor too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just looks fantastic.
I like that he's eating the apple right there because it shows how desperate that he's gone.
Right. Yeah,
Also, that's the third use of that apple after he sets it up, and then there's a
Yeah.
funny joke reveal there that the animal eats around the trap.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you guys were laughing at?
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah, so
didn't
the
see
first time they cut back to the apple core, it shows that an animal did in fact come, but didn't snap the trap. You know?
Yeah, I see right here. I think
So-
that's right there. At least. But yeah, and I love that he goes and eats it
that. Yeah.
because it
See,
just
I-
shows how desperate he
And
is.
his fish got away.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just because it was rotting.
No, because someone ate it. Someone.
Someone. It looks like it was just rotting.
I have a theory about this movie.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's all post-zombie apocalypse.
Right. So let's get into that. This is the can of worms that I had to open. Because when the movie ended, I had to say I have no idea what this movie is.
I
I
don't either.
really have no idea because I felt like it gave us sort of an ending without telling what it was ending.
Yeah.
Right. So we see him visiting a grave site with toys. So we
That
assume
he's been,
that's the son.
Carving.
He
yeah.
gives a little kiss to the picture frame. We assume son's dead,
Right. And he's crying right here too, right?
Yeah.
right? And then this weird reveal at the end that someone is locked in the attic.
In the attic.
Yeah,
After he
banging.
just is enjoying his
Now,
meal.
according to the picture, there are 3 family members.
Right.
So by process of elimination, his wife?
Yep.
His wife's in the attic? Is
Yes.
that because he didn't want to share his fish?
She turned into a zombie.
This is
He
what's
doesn't want to kill her, so he put her in
That
the
almost,
attic.
I mean, there's so little here
that could be it.
that
right?
could totally be true. There's
Yeah.
nothing here to contradict that.
Well, so this is what's interesting, right? When he first leaves the house,
He says goodbye, wish me luck.
right? He says, "Yeah," he
But
says
we don't
goodbye.
see
But
anyone he's
now that
talking
I'm thinking, he could just be talking to the picture.
That's what I thought. I thought he was just saying bye like out of habit, like, you know,
Right.
like, you know. But clearly there's someone alive in the attic.
Right. Yeah.
Without a
yeah.
voice.
So that was a reveal.
Without a voice.
And we've talked about this
Zombie.
before.
So I'm saying zombie.
We've talked about this before. Reveals show you why you just watched the movie, right?
Yeah, and this didn't do that.
And this-
It actually showed you that you know even less.
Right.
It made you know less instead of know more.
Right.
So it's not a reveal.
It wasn't.
It's a take back.
Well, the only reveal was this part where he's dusting up that stuff.
Right. So yeah, but all it reveals is that there's the origin of the dust pile.
Right, and that's it.
Not,
Yeah.
It's not taking anything back though. You're still getting
it
more
ki-
information.
I mean, kind of. I
kind of
mean,
yes and no. What it takes back is that you knew. What it means is that you knew less about this reality than you even thought. You already didn't know very much, but what that revealed is that you knew less.
there's
it
more
didn't
things.
answer a question; it created more
It
questions.
created
Yes.
more questions, right?
Which is not my favorite way to end a movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is
Yeah.
this is personally like I love this kind of movie
Yeah.
where it is that vague and atmospheric and kind of just like I think we're gonna have a video coming out pretty soon describing a concept that D has thought up.
Yeah.
I really want to use that concept right now.
I know,
but
I do too.
it's there's a very specific kind of category this movie fits under, and I really like that.
We can talk about that
category.
real quick if you want.
Yeah, do you want to just give a quick rundown of that or something?
Sure. So this will be in a different video, but we talk about logic in movies, where the director gives something and the audience gives something to make a cohesive story. So we have what I call 2 + 2 logic, where you have the director says this much but not a whole lot, and the audience says, oh, I get it, and then reads subtext into it. So therefore the director's giving 2, the audience gives 2, you get 4. But then you can go opposite sides of that, and you can have the 1 + 3 movie, which is what we're talking about here, where the director gives a little bit, the audience gives a lot. And then there's like the 4 + 0 movie, which is all exposition and the audience doesn't give anything.
Yeah.
So we've talked about that before. You were saying about this film.
And so I think this is in that scale. This is a 1 +
A 1 +
3.
3, yeah.
And I love that. I felt like it all made sense to me when the attic knocked, because to me in my head, I guess there's no way to really know for sure. Maybe if the director wants to chime in or the filmmaker wants to say what his intent behind it was, I'd be happy to hear that. The way I'm thinking is it's post-apocalyptic, or maybe not post-apocalyptic, but post-zombie apocalypse. So where there's not even like a ton of zombies left anymore, and it's just him trying to survive. That's why he's struggling to get food. That's why there's no one around. That's why his son is dead. That's why there's someone banging in the attic, because it's his
not
zombie.
yelling.
Yeah, and not yelling.
Not talking.
It's his zombie wife, who he doesn't have the heart to kill.
It almost sounds right. It really does, actually.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
And you wish you saw that movie?
I wish I saw that movie, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's cool. Because then it's cool to have a zombie movie that doesn't have any zombies.
Right.
In it,
Yeah.
See,
you
that's
know?
a cool
That's
idea.
A cool
Yeah.
idea.
You remember the fan theory of Jar Jar Binks, right?
Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah, being a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
So that's a great fan theory. I love that theory, and it plugs up so many holes, right? The thing is, there's no evidence to support that theory, but it's a cool thing to think of. I feel like that's the exact thing with our zombie thing here. It's the really cool thing to think of. There's zero evidence to support the theory. Therefore,
Well,
it could
there's
be anything.
semi-evidence.
Well, I have an interpretation that actually fits with what's on the screen. You ready?
You have an alternate theory.
Yeah, here's what happened. He left to go catch fish to feed him and his wife. And he said, "Wish me luck." And the wife remained silent and did not wish him luck.
Oh.
He goes fishing. He catches a fish. It gets away. He's pissed at his wife. Then he catches a fish without luck from the wife. And he's like, I'm not sharing this fish. And so he locks that, you know what, in the attic.
You know what?
So that he can enjoy his fish without that ungrateful woman.
Oh.
That's what this is.
Great.
If you go back and rewatch it, you'll see it all fits.
It all makes sense.
It all fits.
What a great movie.
Why did this movie make all three of us feel sleepy? Like it was hypnotizing.
That is true. Yeah,
this
that
was
did happen.
interesting.
When it ended, you said that, wow, that movie washed over me.
Yeah.
And it made me feel like mesmerized.
I noticed here. So one, the rhythm in the edits are very similar. Everything is kind of this.
It's a slow metronome.
Slow thing. Yeah. Also, almost every single shot is a long shot, meaning the lens is long. There's almost no wide shots in here. Pretty much everything is telephoto. Or actually, that one's wide. That one's wide. Right there, but it's close up.
And though
I like that shot a lot.
Yeah.
That's a good actor, man. I like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, now we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Subtlety. Actors need subtlety. He has it.
Yes.
Definitely.
Because I really feel his character.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think that is the character. I'm not thinking I'm not even thinking about
Kiss
him
goes
giving
on
a
to
performance.
son, not on wife.
See, now this is something that we haven't talked about a whole lot, and that's when you're watching a movie and you feel like the character is the character as opposed to someone playing that character. I think there's only been one other time that's happened in our series.
In our short films that we've
Yeah.
covered. Do you remember what one that was?
I don't remember, no.
There's been a few like very good acting performances.
Yeah.
This was really good.
It also helps that there's no dialogue.
That's what I was about to say. It's like I don't know if I can say he's a great actor,
Right.
But he was perfect for this.
Yeah.
To jump back a quick second about this making us tired.
Yeah.
And I said that it felt like it washed over me. I don't mean that in a negative way.
No.
Like, I don't mean that in like, it was so boring, I'm going to fall
that's
asleep.
actually like high praise.
Yeah.
You know?
It was mesmerizing.
For people with
Mesmerizing,
with a filmmaker brain, it's actually really hard to go into that state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're seeing things that contain problems, your attention is brought back to it over and over, and you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was just it. Everything felt the same, as in everything felt great. There was no glaring problems. There was no glaring anything.
Yeah.
And that's actually what made the reveal so weird. Was that the reveal was quite
weird.
quite
Yeah.
weird.
I love that shot.
When nothing else was
When
weird.
nothing else was weird.
Yeah.
Right. And so it makes us go.
It
What was
almost
that? What is going
you
on?
See,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That if this was the first third of a
Yeah.
longer movie,
Yeah.
that would have been a perfect pivot point into the second
Into
act.
something else. Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like. Is we were introducing the second act right there, but as an ending, it wasn't satisfying to me. But maybe that is just a taste thing.
Because I'm going to say that even without any interpretation, just as is,
Yeah.
shot for shot, I find the ending to be very intriguing. It's mysterious.
Oh, definitely.
And
it's definitely that.
I really like the mystery of that. Even if I never ever get any resolution.
I think that's just it. That's the taste difference.
Yeah.
Is that I think there's very few people who relish intrigue and mystery as an ending.
Yeah.
Whereas mystery and intrigue is usually a means to an end,
Right.
not an end in itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, bam.
What is the? Oh, that's the actor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Noel Olkin.
Yeah. So hey, he was the editor too. Brad, Mr. Roller.
Yeah. Was Brad the director?
He was the director. Yeah.
Nicely done, Brad.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us what exactly
What's
was going on?
Tell us
What's
the
intent?
secret.
What's
or if it's just meant to be.
What's in the attic and why?
Well, see, this is what's weird about it, right? Because I don't necessarily care what's in the attic. What I
Yeah.
care about its importance to the story.
I care to find out if Brad wants to tell people what's in the attic. To me, that tells me a lot about this movie.
Yeah.
Because if he is truly in the vein of what you saw, then he is not eager he wouldn't be eager to tell people
Correct.
what's in that attic.
And I'm sure
Yes.
that's where he is.
It's about the mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he has a more specific story to tell, then maybe he would share what's in that attic. I want to know.
It actually reminds me of that movie that we've watched called it was a horror short by Local 58.
Daily Poe.
Not Daily Poe.
Throwback.
The one where you're in a car and he's driving, GPS is telling him to turn off his lights.
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't on Short Film Roundup. We just watched.
Just
it.
something that we just
That was
watched.
cool.
Yeah. So in that movie, you understand that there's something chasing the car, and you understand that this GPS has somehow led them into this area. There's zero link between the GPS and the monster. You know that it's probably a monster. You know that he's in danger. All this, but nothing was actually said, right? And you don't have
off your lights.
you don't have to see the monster. You don't have to understand the link between the monster and the GPS. You just understand all this stuff because the subtext is what it is. In this portion, I feel like there is missing relevance. Like the story doesn't make any sense unless we understand what he's keeping in the attic, why he's keeping them there, stuff like that.
That's what I mean. Like I have a hard time without enough context.
Without that, the movie doesn't really seem to be like
what I feel like I just watched was a combination of a cinematography reel and an actor's demo.
And that's exactly what I think
That's
too.
what I saw.
And I mean, and people, obviously can disagree with that, but That is what I feel too. Is that it did feel like a real.
But let's end on a positive note. Taylor, heap some praise.
Keep it
high.
Well, this is to my taste, like I love movies like this where you aren't given context. Like I love when you, like, an artist has something in their head and makes it, but has little regard for the audience.
Yeah, you like the idea, like you said before,
indulgent. Yes, I enjoy watching self-indulgent.
So, I like David Lynch.
I was going to bring up David Lynch. He thrives in mystery.
And my favorite David Lynch is Eraserhead.
Yeah.
I love Eraserhead.
I still haven't seen it.
Great film.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Totally weird, right? In so many ways. But that movie waves a flag and screams its identity from the first scene.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I feel robbed and disjointed by this movie is that it's jumping up and down and saying, I have a narrative story to tell.
I have a point to make.
That's what it completely felt that way until the end.
I mean, but that's also stuffing it into a genre, right?
It felt like we saw, how long is this movie?
10 minutes.
About 10
minutes. It felt like we saw 9 minutes of character development.
Yeah.
Right? Which means we were gearing up to tell a story. Traditionally, that's why you develop a character. And that was working. I was building empathy. I built empathy with this character, and I wanted to see what came next. But all that came next was the attic door, and then it was over.
So I enjoyed, we talk about this a lot, Mother. I enjoyed Mother a lot.
Yeah.
And in the first half of that movie is this classic storytelling.
True.
That's going to have some
that
sort of
one's
payoff.
like almost a bait and switch.
Yeah, and then they're just like, nope.
But that is the gimmick.
That is the gimmick, yeah. But then at the rest of the movie, I don't care about the beginning. So it could just be, it could just be a taste piece.
I definitely got the impression they were doing character development, but I never got the impression that they were telling a very, very plotted narrative.
And we did. Right.
Yeah. It just left me feeling like there should be more. Mm-hmm. Even if it went in a very weird direction, If the rest of the movie was a fever dream, if that attic door popped open and demons flew out and this whole thing turned into pink elephants on parade, I'd have a very different opinion.
Yeah. See, but this does something that I want to do in a movie, which is
frustrate.
Yes. take that. Take the
discipline the audience.
Yes, atmosphere. Through your own story. It's like you develop something so detailed in your head and so detailed with the actor and with how you deliver the shots, but give zero exposition.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
I think
nothing.
I think that's what Terrence Malick does in a lot of
ways. Yeah.
When you say give exposition, what do you mean by that? Because when we're showing shots here, we're showing how he lives, we're showing what he does every day. I mean, that is exposition, but it's just through visual.
I wouldn't even do that. I would put two characters, maybe like just jump into a situation that characters have been living for years.
I think
without explaining
Paul
what their
Thomas
context
Anderson
was.
Kind of does that too.
Sometimes, yeah.
I can see that work. I totally can see that work.
I just like that because, like you're saying, how. Mother is so crazy weird over the top. Eraserhead is so crazy weird over the top. I want to take that same structure, but take away the crazy over the top stuff like this movie does,
Under
and
the
have
Skin
it be.
Did that.
Yes, I love Under the Skin.
Yeah, Under the Skin does this thing where they show you this person's life, and they never ever tell you why.
Yeah,
it's just this person's life.
So it's just a style of movie that I like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly how, because then we can also talk about intent. Because if this guy intended to tell a specific story, then obviously he might have failed. If we're having this discussion at this point,
right, yeah. But I really think because this looks masterfully done.
Yeah,
I mean, so I really
there
think
was obviously a lot of intent here.
Yeah, there was. I think he was trying to create this mystery that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes
Well,
for some good conversation.
It is always a pleasure when we have a
Absolutely.
movie that really makes us have a meaningful conversation.
This is
Instead
by
of just
far-
saying, you really should have used a microphone.
By far one of my favorite films that we've covered.
Yeah,
All three
what,
of these
what an
films were great.
episode.
Oh yeah, all these.
Like, I was just shocked that we got. I mean, we don't curate the movies that come in. All
No.
we do is make sure that they meet our basic requirements,
Yeah.
which are very basic.
Yeah, but we never look at it.
We don't look at it. We don't have any idea what the content is. And here we ended up with 3 of some of the best produced pieces we've seen all at the same time. Pretty cool to have an episode without ever talking about microphones.
That is really cool. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Please submit your short film if you have not. If you have a short film, submit it to ours. To ours?
To our subreddit,
That.
r/Carmen Line Studios.
Yes.
Carmen Line Studios.
Yeah, we would love to
Studios.
cover your short film here.
Absolutely.
Everyone who's done it so far has told us they have loved the experience, and we love it. It's like our favorite thing to do.
Yes, it
So
is.
And
send us your shorts.
we love it so much that we even made a new show about it.
What? What?
I didn't say anything.
New show.
What's he talking about?
No, I didn't say anything. So
This is like
join us
probably
next
already
time. Short film roundup.
All right, thank you for watching again, and until next time, this guy's Kenny
This guy's-
Valentine, not Kenny Williams.
Not
Ah,
Kenny
yeah,
Williams.
Yeah.
This guy's D.
I'm Kenny Williams. I mean, Taylor.
And we'll see you next time on Short
Film
Film
Roundup.
Roundup.